It's on.
Hold on.
Now I'm trying to think of the rest of the song.
Yeah, you already know. I forgot.
I was singing earlier. Fuck. What is it? Yo, Ush, what up, Kels? Wanna introduce you to this girl?
Man, but she's so fine.
Straight up, dog.
Oh, okay. I was trying to remember which part was
R. Kelly.
I'll be sitting there singing both of like, she's so fine, straight up dog, cause I'm schizophrenic. Damn.
I don't know who I am. So many personalities.
A psycho and an angel.
I can't find my aim.
License plate say bang, bros. Oh, shit. How you doing, speaking of bang, bro? How you doing, bro?
Banging.
Over the door, I see that smile, I said, this nigga. He just got done.
Shit, I wish.
Oh no. Oh, okay.
Hell no, goddamn.
It's been a smooth week.
Yeah, for the most part,
excuse me.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, definitely been pretty cool. How about you?
I've been great, like goddamn. I had the luxury of spending this entire week in some odd days in my own little world, man. Like and the results of everything I've created, and it's real nice. And yeah, it's back to the rap race this week. I mean, you never look forward to it, but it's got to be done. You know,
Yeah.
It's got to be done.
Yeah, and you've been going for a minute.
Yeah, man.
About a month and a half.
More than that, like goddamn, but it's a blessing because like shit, man, motherfuckers. I don't know. Everybody got to live their own way, and I'm so clear on what's for me, like and what I needed. Like had I not spent all that time away, I wouldn't be as clear as I am now. I feel like I blew my nose and my sinuses are clear and I can breathe. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. Real quick, can you bring this light a little bit closer to you? I'm just like noticing, not too much. A little bit more, right there.
Solid.
Alright, perfect.
That's it.
It was gonna annoy me because like you were lit, but like not lit. You know
It's cool that you can see stuff like that. Like motherfucking, I wouldn't be able to point it out worth a damn.
That period, I was like, that shit too far back.
Yeah,
I wish I could force pull that motherfucker.
I know we already discussed it in the last pod. However, I was looking at the CLB and it spelled Colb and I've been like kind of because I didn't listen to it since, and I wondered if like you got like the feeling that it's not making the impact that we thought it would.
That's funny because you're going on right on one of my topics. So I was gonna say that to the end, but we can start here.
Oh, sorry, that was my first job.
He said this coming. He was like, "It's certified trash."
Certified fuckboy.
Actually, yeah, kind of. But my thoughts on it now has definitely changed, but not like negatively, but my hype for it has like gone down.
Yeah, like I was that walk back that I did on Kendrick and whatnot. It was like numbers based. It was based on the Drake effect and how like that shit just gets us talking about it as soon as it hits the markets and everything. But,
yeah, for sure. Like, as more time went on, I was listening to other people's takes on it. And the consensus that I got, because I couldn't put words to it for myself because I was playing it so much, and I was like, I'm feeling it, and it's good, it's great, it's Drake, obviously,
right.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, I'm not getting the same exact feeling.
And that's scary for you to feel.
Yeah, like even on the last joint, Dark Lane demo tapes, that shit was hard
that shit
too.
Was hard.
And Scorpion and everything else
outside
prior.
in the AMG.
Yo, that's still my favorite Drake song.
Yeah, TC.
Ever. Like,
baby girl, you know me.
So nowadays, that's my shit.
I love it. I was like, okay.
So like even with that, like so a lot of people's consensus that put in the words for me was that like, Drake is gonna be Drake. And he's fairly the most consistent ever.
That's
right?
why I'm wondering whether my fault. Continue.
Yeah, so he's the most consistent ever. And what he did with this, it wasn't anything super groundbreaking because, we can only compare Drake to Drake at this point.
Right.
And he's gonna do what what Drake only knows how to do, right? Now, me personally, as a huge fan of Drake, knowing that he's gone above each and every project, like literally each and every, it was like them jaunts on there, ones that you remember,
right,
all the way from Thank Me Later, all the way up until, like you just said, Time Flies, up until now, right? And so I'm just like, man, like, yeah, this shit is hard. But I remember how I felt when I heard If You're Reading This Is Too Late.
I don't, only because I'm not connected to Drake as much to my story. But even if that's the case, you talked about comparing Drake to Drake. I was wondering whether this is like the calm after the storm or something more. Like if there's more to come, just because I feel like part of the Drake effect is that his shit catches on later sometimes.
I don't even say that. A lot of times that shit be hitting right away. That shit hits right away.
And then it sticks around. This didn't have anything that hit right away.
Like, I remember, for example, like Views. I remember that shit got a whole lot of mixed reviews, but that shit was still hitting right away. You had One Dance, you had Controller, Hotline Bling.
You ain't lying.
Like, you had all
that
them
shit was
shits.
all over the world.
Yeah, you had the one John, Why You Gotta Fight With Me, a Cheese, Child's Play. Like, nigga, he was giving you them slaps.
He was.
You know? And it's like, even on Scorpion, like, everybody, that was the most double disc. Like, nigga, what?
They leaned on the Drake effect a little too much with this one. Like, they leaned on him just being Drake.
Well, I'll speak for me when I say this part, that and this is a topic I'm gonna get into later, but I was expecting something different in this.
Especially with the all the hype that we was getting before it came out. Motherfuckers was like, this is the most different Drake you ever heard.
And I'm not gonna say different. I'm just gonna say as far as like with the content was gonna deliver. Like when he dropped Scary Hours 2 and he put out Lemon Pepper Freestyle, I'm like, yo, this shit about to go crazy. When I heard What's Next, when I heard Wants and Needs, even Laugh Now Cry Later, I'm like, yo, these joints is going crazy. I'm thinking it's gonna be
you're thinking it's gonna be hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, in that lane, I'm just like, yo, like you should have saved them bitches for this. For real. Like I would have loved, cause in my mind, them songs fit way better than the ones of their counterparts.
And speaking of which, like I didn't get too much detail on the subject. However, I'm keen on this little story that he did release a song after the fact with Andre 3K on it, a verse that was supposed to be on the Donda album.
So allegedly, Drake leaked Kanye's song with 3 Stacks. Allegedly, right?
Right. Okay. And I heard some of the verse. Beautiful.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like, you as a rapper, I'm telling you, like the way this man went about describing his relationship
with his mom's and
with his mom, and then flipping that in correlation with Kanye's mom, and like it's beautiful.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking beautiful, and like the honesty of it, the rawness of it. It's like, damn, yo, like I be forgetting how ill this nigga really is sometimes. And when I hear that shit, it reminds me of like when I heard Love Below for the first time, and that wasn't until years later. And not even Prototype. That's the one everybody fucking. I'm talking about the full length album, top to bottom. That shit is a one big feeling. It's a one big story, huge. I remember when I first heard that shit, and I'm like, yo, I see where this nigga was trying to go with something. And if he would have felt more confident in his abilities to keep this going, we could have got 20 more Love Belows, if that.
It was funny when I did hear that verse, because it was like, one, I like to see him pop up when he wants to pop up.
Yeah.
And two, it gave me confidence in my own path, just because, like, Andre, he's his own man. Like, he's his own brand of rap. And it was one of the topics that I wrote. That's was funny you had mentioned, but yeah, I realized that I don't want to read verbatim, but it was like, I'm good enough at what I do not to take it as seriously. There we go. Like looking at Andre and him sometimes just going and playing flutes and Just
Starbucks.
you know what I'm saying, just doing what he want to do. Like it's just because he knows that he's good at what he does. He can pick it up anytime and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the way I like to see myself in my own space. Like just being confident in like my art and just sharing it when I want to, not necessarily as a thing that's going to feed me. You know.
I feel you on that.
Cause what is it? The second part of that was oh yeah, he knows just like I think I know in my own path. He knows that his shit is going to cut through the noise anyway.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like yeah, I respect that. But I didn't know what that had to do with Drake and Kanye's beef.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's alleged because, you know, they've been going tit for tat for however long. You know, Kanye leaked Drake's address or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like, everyone had Drake's address. It's the biggest property in Toronto. Like, who gives a fuck?
and this is a exhibit A example of how the world is going, because that just happened and stuff and all that, but that all sounds like old news. Like
it did
it's
happen
like
a few weeks ago.
You know what I'm saying? It's like the whole Drake Kanye sort of the album, and it's this microwave era has made stuff pass by so quickly, and I can physically feel how up to date you gotta or how like on the pulse you gotta be with whatever your market is.
Yeah. But I feel like just between them two, it's like another point I heard was that, you know, they in all actuality, they would benefit from each other if they were to work together. Like where Kanye doesn't do the greatest on rapping, he does phenomenal with production. And where Drake may seem like he's reached a peak with production, he's consistently phenomenal at rapping.
Right.
You give Drake these Kanye beats, or you let Drake write for Kanye, like. You get some amazing shit out of that. You know what I'm saying?
You could.
And I think about, you know, the few times where they actually have done shit together, whether it was like, you know, on Find Your Love or I was rapping Blessings today. I was like, yo, and Kanye snapped on that jaw. Like, he was killing it. Fucking like just moments like that are just epic. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we don't get enough of those because you know, a lot of artists tend to have such egos and pride, and you know, beef gets instigated a lot of times. It has nothing to really do with each other.
Yeah.
But then I can't say, at least for like the new niggas though, a lot of new niggas are collaborating more. It's like the guys from that kind of era and prior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Before I knew anything about like there being like a business thing attached to the music and stuff, like it explains more why like guys from the older generation and the older era weren't as collaborative, like between like Warner Brothers and this and that, and like who you were signed to. Sometimes it was just business that couldn't be, because like as a kid you want to see Spider-Man and Batman and all these different characters in one movie, and then you find that
one's Marvel, one's DC.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And the copyright here and the property there, and like it's a lot of creativity has been really squandered because of the business aspect of things. But you had mentioned like egos and pride, and I was just like, speaking of which, like oh, luckily I haven't suffered any negative incidents with ego and pride this week. If anything, like this example was more so a clear example of why you should watch like the friendships you got and whatnot, because swiping on Tinder, do what I do, but like goddamn, it was a weekday, and by weekday I mean like I was not as strong in my
He's such a rapper.
Determination.
It was a weekday on my weekday.
I said, triple entendre.
Don't even ask me how.
I just woke and said it. But like motherfucker, to make the long story short of it, you know, it's a small world, man. I swiped and ended up talking to somebody who was familiar with my niggas. But like the thing that what the fuck he started geeking. But yeah, like goddamn, She started asking where she fucked up. I feel like she asked me to give her info on. I mean,
On said nigga.
yeah, on that nigga. I'm like, yeah. First of all, he the greatest nigga in the world, and like, nah, I ain't, of course I ain't like I mean, I ain't. It just it dawned on me that had I not been the type of guy I am, like motherfucking. That's the kind of stuff that niggas be butting heads over. It's just like simple shit, bitches, egos, and stuff. But like that ain't something that is an issue with me and my. You know what I mean,
And it was crazy, like, cause first I appreciate that from you. You know what I'm saying? Cause you know, like I said, you didn't have to do that. Like, you know, any nigga could have been on some fuck nigga shit, and would drag that nigga name or did anything to try to
anything
smash,
to get some pussy,
you know, just on some sucker shit. And it's like, you know, when you have those people around you who you can turn your back and know like they got it.
That's what I wrote down. I was just like, being a real nigga, you know, when no one's watching.
Exactly.
Like,
and it's, you know, and in that scenario, like
oh yeah, I didn't mean to bring it into the forefront, but I was just like, how did I turn? Hey, how the story unfold?
It didn't. I folded that bitch right back.
He said, I folded.
Boy, like a damn napkin. Boy, I hit her back up. I'm like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? I don't know really what, you know, you thought this was time. I didn't say like that, but I was insinuating that, you know, I'm not really looking for what you're looking for, and that's not what it is for me, you know. Yeah. And you know, she's like, okay, you know, we left it at that. You know what I'm saying? And, that was pretty much it.
That's funny because it's probably when she started hitting me back, and I ain't hear her back at all. Like, bitch. And you know what? And I can appreciate her because she. The only thing I did, like I told you, what I was going to do is like, all right, bet. She's still talking to me, so I'm gonna make it seem like I'm not talking to you or something, so that she don't get the bright idea. And so I ended up spinning it, sending her my music. I was like, I'm gonna get a stream out of this bitch. And like she gave. You know what's
funny?
What's that?
You got a stream out of her. I got some money.
We use this bitch. That's a Jerry.
He said Jerry Bird.
Sure.
Jerry Singular Bird.
My hand was lonely as shit right there.
Damn, that shit wet.
On the back. I was going to say how it started sweating on the knuckles. You see, I got these joints upstairs. But yeah, man, nah. What is it? I took a screenshot of that joint too.
That bitch, man, she gave us something, all right.
And I thought about it.
Yo, and before we even get into that, right?
Yeah.
You just want to talk about like being real. Actually, get into that, and it's gonna go into what I have to talk about. So whatever that was.
Well, does it? Because this was just what she was saying when she heard the joint.
Okay.
So like motherfucking and you might have seen like a snippet of it. I posted.
Yeah, I posted on your story.
But I
seen it.
You said I posted it on you. I'm you. I know everything. This nigga.
I'm the listener.
But the short of it, because she was saying she doesn't do everything. She does everything wholeheartedly. So I could appreciate how like intelligent the girl tried to, I mean. But what is it? Loving the intro, like when she feel like a song has the beat first before hearing the lyrics, But what most connected with me was that I mean, what everybody says, like the lyrics, like it tells a story. She likes that part. She gets a sense of what my life was like and who inspires me. I didn't like, and this I got some more walking back. I gotta walk back my walk back because she said it kind of reminded me of Kendrick and Common put together.
Yo, when I saw that part. I saw that part, I was like, that nigga ain't like that.
I said, bitch, it kind of reminds you of Robbie and Atkins put together. It's me.
It's going to remind you when I whip your ass.
Nah, I ain't mad at it, though. Like, because I can understand that people just trying to give me some kind of perspective. Like, somebody that they revere and stuff. So, it's
good comparisons.
Yeah. I could see how you trying to compliment.
They're not going to say, like, oh, this reminds me of Trippie Redd. Bitch. What the fuck?
Yo, and I hate him so much. I never heard it. Yo, and I heard that one Trippie Redd song you showed me, or him and the baby, I think it was.
No, him and Tori.
Tori, okay, and we was in a gym and shit, and it was slapping.
Yeah,
like,
it goes hard there.
I'm not mad at none of his music or whatever he does. It's
But
just
that's the only tripping song I got.
Yeah, no, like I ain't
Only
even
one I
tripping
got.
off him. It's just the boy face. It kills me. I'm like,
I don't know why. He remind me of like a kid who should be on like a McDonald's commercial.
yeah, like he remind
Some
me of the
stupid
kid
shit.
that had the juice stain on their lips.
Yeah,
when
like-
they was kid, the dirty kid.
Yeah, this everything. Like, what the
The
fuck?
dirty kid trying to be cool. That's what he remind me of. Like I ain't even gonna hold you, but
I'll never get. This is a side track. You just said dirty kid trying to be cool. I remember it was in high school.
For a second, I thought it was a story about me. I stopped laughing. I was like, wait, what you about to reveal?
He said, I was a dirty kid trying to be cool.
I said, you bitch. You know who you messing with. Everything that you did, I'm the motherfucking dirty kid.
Motherfucking dirty kid. That's the name of the pod.
Dirty kid. Gonna be an ass of rocks on it. And shit. That's where I thought you was going with this. I was like, oh no, you don't, bitch.
That's so rocks. That's another story for another day. But this one in particular.
Dumb shit you did again last. Never again.
But so I remember I was in high school, right? And we were freshmen. And like the seniors, whatever, like these were like, this one Christian was still going, this is one of the few times me and him were actually in school together.
Okay.
Actually, I think, the second time. We were at elementary school together and then now high school.
Solid.
So he's a senior, I was a freshman. But I remember like it was a group of senior niggas, right? Mm-hmm. They would always like fuck with like these few freshmen. And I didn't know them, but like, I noticed from afar of what the fuck they would be doing to these fucking kids, right? So one day we all out in the hallway. It's like before homeroom.
Nothing that you stopped.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Stop what? So they can fuck with me?
He's like, hey.
But nah, niggas
Get
fuck
Superman over here.
niggas that fuck with me. I was shells with brother. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't get touched.
He said I had protection.
So I'm looking right. I'm looking down the hall, and they like, I forget the dude. Like, look at fucking John over there with his dusty ass shoes. They're like, yo, John, you my DYB. And his boy's like, yo, what's DYB? Like, my dirty young boy. I was like, oh shit.
Start calling this nigga
Yo,
dirty
they
young
was
boy.
on these niggas' head. It wasn't even 8 o'clock yet, my nigga.
Now imagine being that kid,
man.
and you at home, and you know that you gotta go and look forward to that day.
Nigga, I saw
man.
in his eyes, he was sick of this shit. He was
Came back
hurt.
to school. He was white.
Nah, he was black. All these niggas was black. And I was like, damn. I was like, John getting the worst of this shit. Bro, we just got here. It's our second week. So how the fuck?
Damn, it's September still.
I'm like, how you get into it with these niggas? Man, listen. Them same dudes like, oh, yo, Shells with the brother. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, John, you a bitch. Dirty young ball. When they say you my DYB, I never forgot that shit, man.
I remember with see, that's the danger of being like teetering the line if you like the broke friend, but you cool in school.
Yep.
Cause see, I was cool, but goddamn, I mean, I have it like that.
Right.
And so one of these days of the week, I was wearing the Meccas again, and my boy, he's supposed to be my homie. We choke everybody together.
He ain't your homie no more.
Today he chose me. Chose violence on this day. I saw the Mecca sign on my jaws. He lifted the shirt. He said, hey, those the Mecca pants he was wearing yesterday. I was like, nah, I was wearing the motherfucking
I was on the corduroys.
Pellies.
I had on the Dickies.
Nigga, man, he pointed me out real quick. Him and Jay. I remember them niggas. He said, There's main niggas I was joking motherfuckers with.
Oh my God.
Hey, man, you gotta be able to handle what you dish out, man.
Nah, facts.
Real shit.
So
you was mentioning being real.
Yeah, so I was having this thought the other day because I was like, man, so all right, I'm gonna give you like this a train of thought that I had that got me to this point.
Yeah.
So I remember I was just trying to like find, more inspiration on my writing and everything. And, one of my biggest influences is Issa Rae's Insecure. Something so, at least for me, that was so different on TV that I've never seen before.
Right.
We've obviously had, many of black shows that came before, but none in which that in this capacity would show a diverse group of black people.
I was about to say, like, I haven't been privy to what Insecure offers because I haven't watched it.
It's a must watch. And again, so not to get into what the fuck it's about, but
right.
the depiction and how Issa writes black people is it's super nuanced, right? It's relatable to everybody, but where black people can know like it's for them specifically. You know what I mean? So
I'll give it a shot.
And this video in particular was about how she writes the black men in the show. Mm-hmm. So the guy, he was doing an analysis on like majority of the black men that was in the show, some of the main guys that appeared in the show. And when he got down to Lawrence, Issa Rae's love interest in the beginning, I had already related to this nigga, but when he broke it down more about what his character is and was, I was like, damn, that's me.
We'll break it down. Let me see.
So in the show, in the beginning of season 1, Issa and Lawrence, they're living together, but Lawrence is kind of down on his luck. He's a college graduate, but doesn't have a job at the moment. You know what I mean? He's at home every day. He's not, you know what I mean? But Issa's the one working.
Has a beard?
That's not the point.
I go look this shit up. They're like, call me Alex Shelley. I'm like, nigga, it's you.
So you played in the show.
Yo, I thought I was this.
I thought I was insecure. So eventually, Lawrence, he's starting to get his life together, but Issa's kind of getting tired of his not looking. She's looking at him to be a certain type of man.
Yeah.
And she ends up cheating on him with the man that she actually thought she wanted. Right. By that point, Lawrence is trying to make a comeback, and he's got a new job. He's trying to make the most of himself.
They're still together?
No.
Good.
So yeah, fuck her. But aside from that, after they break up, he rebounds with this one girl and stuff like that. And I've totally forgot about this part, but he showed the clip of where, I forget why they stopped fucking with each other, but she was mad at him. She was like, you know what? You just a fuck nigga that thinks he's a nice guy, and hung up on him. I was like, damn. That's me. I was like, damn. So what he talked about was how Lawrence, like, so listen, how Lawrence, he, for the longest time, was trying to fit into this masculine version of himself that necessarily wasn't him. Mm-hmm. By being what women would want him to be. Yeah. Right? So he ended up having like a threesome with these 2 white girls. He was fucking this girl, fucking this girl, fucking this girl. You know what I mean? Getting in shape and all type of shit, right? But deep down, like, he never really felt satisfied with the shit that he was necessarily doing. Right. Right? It wasn't until he met his newer girlfriend, or his newer like fling or whatever, where he felt a little bit more like okay with what he was doing. Yeah. Because he didn't feel like he was trying to be something that he wasn't.
I can relate to that. And it's funny that show is called Insecure. That's the journey of coming out of your insecurities.
Right. And so for me, after like looking at that, I was like, damn, to get me to this point, it's been a lot. And then my train of thought got to, how many times, or rather, when is enough gonna be enough? When is enough bitches gonna be enough bitches? When am I really gonna be ever okay with getting into another relationship again, or will I be okay knowing that I could be single and still date?
Well, let me tell you from the other side. I'm on the I'm on the end of things where, sure, there's other attractive women. You know what I mean? Sure, there's more women out there that could fuck, want to fuck, they look great, they are great. They could. The only, you can't tell the future, right? So you don't know how things are gonna go. But the only time in which you'll slow down it can be picked back up. It doesn't have to be the end, but when you want to, and when it's made so that it's easy for you to do so, like, and it's made easy for you by it being what you want, and like shit in the position I'm in, like I like you can't really get loyalty and understanding, and just like share like the laughter. I have written down, like, if you can't make your woman laugh, does she really love you? Do you really love her? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she can't make you laugh, if y'all can't share laughter together, like these are the kind of things that'll make you see. Of course there are other people to fuck. There are always going to be other people to fuck. Right. It's just at this point you're sharing something else. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's when you start to slow down.
And I think these days, like, I started thinking about how, you know, I've been kind of not just so like desperate for pussy. Like I feel like I've been turning down much more pussy than I would have gotten before if 100%. I was just like letting shit slide. Yeah. You know what I mean? And or just having to diminish my integrity and my character just to fuck a bitch or to keep fucking a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's just like I don't feel the need to compromise my integrity and my character for some used up box.
Right. And you know what too, speaking of the used up box thing, it's that like this has also been made easy on me as a process because like the woman that I am dealing with, I've come to know her very well, like her past, present, and so on. Like so I have a big picture of who I'm dealing with, why they do what they do, how, like, you know what I'm saying? You and once you have like understand, it's just like knowing yourself and moving correctly. And then so if you understand somebody well and they work well with you, it's just like why mess it up type thing. You know, it's hard to mess up because you like it. You know what I'm saying? So those are the times when it's because I'm at a point where I'm not even practicing the discipline as much to like resist pussy, because it's not a thing of discipline anymore. It's a thing of I really don't care. Right. Like these bitches, you know what I mean? I really don't care.
Yeah. And because along with that, you know, it comes a lot, you know, to be in an actual committed relationship. You know what I mean? And
that's why no titles.
And the topics I want to get into that I discussed with my mom is that you know, a lot of people don't understand what it takes to be married. And I feel like a lot of times people jump into marriage sometimes quickly, or sometimes they may even wait a long time, but then not understand the circumstance in which they're going to be putting themselves in, now being one with this person. And me and my mom was having this discussion, and I pretty much told her, like, you know, from my observation of living with, you know, my parents who were married the whole entire time, seeing how their relationship unfolded, the stuff I learned prior to when I was born, you know what I'm saying, the stuff I learned in between that I wasn't privy to as a child, you know what I'm saying, like it takes a lot. And, you know, people, like, when I express that to people, they may feel like I'm coming at it pessimistically, but it's in reality that, you know, these marriages, and when you tie yourself to one person forever, it takes sacrifices, it takes compromising, it takes having to be on the same page consistently. It takes having to understand them truly for all their layers. Forgiveness. It takes a partnership. It takes a union.
But you said that perfect word right there. The partnership is what's important.
And really, a lot of times, and this is what scares me to even begin to think about me getting married, is that a lot of women these days get caught up on like how it looks and the love factor. Love is the last thing on the list for everything else that makes a marriage work, in my opinion. Because you can do all these things successfully and know that when this person is with you and that trust is there and understanding is there, love is like the last thing.
Love is the first.
That's the last thing to me.
I would say I can disagree just because like shoot man without I would for me in this circumstance had I not, and it's very unfair, but you know the world is not fair. Had I not been shown love, then I wouldn't have been open enough to give it. Love is the key. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna unlock the doors that enable you to be cooperative. And
Well, sure.
compassionate.
In that instance, it gets the engine going, but it's not the thing that's gonna sustain the
It
relationship.
is because you'll always have to know that you are loved. Like my family, for example, the reason my sister had told me a long time ago to get a life because everybody in my family has kind of created a life of their own outside of just family. And in my own brain, I was thinking that family is the only love that I can trust because they can't break my heart. They can't do this and that to me. No matter how much of a pain in the ass I am, they won't stop loving me. And so I didn't trust anything outside of that because it all felt like it was contingent upon what I do for you or what I provide, et cetera, et cetera. And so I only say that to say that love, it's just a very necessary ingredient to keep one, like, it's the glue. It's really the glue.
And you're right, and I agree with that. My point is that it's not the most important thing when you're married.
What do you think the most important thing is in marriage? For, like, first and foremost.
I'm not gonna say it's love, because it's from recently when I learned that and if we're gonna even talk just what it means to be married and underneath a religious standpoint, love isn't mentioned in the Bible when it comes to being married.
Okay.
It mentions duty and responsibility, right? So in that instance, if I think about it in that way, what's my duty and responsibility?
Yeah, so you may not even
person?
feel love in the moment, and you still have to have a responsibility to said person
Exactly.
in a marriage.
Right.
Okay.
And it's like love a lot of times, like you said, it's the glue and it opens the opportunity for things to flourish. And all those beautiful things that love actually does. And I agree with that. I just don't think that it's the
first. Okay.
It's the first priority when it comes to making that sort of thing.
Because sometimes love can be weakened by the circumstances y'all go through.
Right. And like I said, let's say, you marry young. Let's say you marry at 21. And then you're married for the rest of your life. Like you're having to rediscover this person every decade
and rediscover yourself.
And you mean to tell me you have to love this person every single time?
And that's the thing about
every time
the whole monogamy and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to deal with the paranoia of keeping you in love with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that paranoia. That's why what I'm currently doing has no title on, and I'm not restricted in those ways. I just do what I choose.
Right.
Because I'll be damned if I feel like you're telling me you can't paint a forever fantasy.
Yeah.
Nothing. I mean, we could hope as much as we can. There's a beautiful thing of seeing old couples together and them being married 60 and 50 years and stuff that doesn't happen anymore.
But they'll tell you they've been through some shit.
And they will tell you they've been through some hell together, man. And it's just when you see it, it's just is that worth going through? Do I want to feel that pain and still feel that resentment for somebody?
And that's the second point I was gonna make is that when you're married to somebody, and before you even introduce kids into that sort of relationship, the effect you're gonna have on this person's life is not gonna go away.
And see, I'm aware of affecting their life. I'm more weary of how they'll affect mine.
I'm saying that, and to go to both ways. Both of you are gonna have such an impact on each other's lives, and I don't know if I can trust someone enough to not put that effect on me, and I don't know if I can trust myself enough not to put that effect on that person.
Right.
Because at that point, it's no turning back.
I feel like
then you add a kid into that equation, you're messing up that kid too.
You know, it's funny you mentioned the kid, because we talking about marriage and shit, right? And while I don't think I'll ever be married. I feel like by the same token, it would be the best environment for a child to be raised in. And I also feel like I have a responsibility to have a child, and more so, just because. And the only reason I say this is because I was thinking. I just went into a rabbit hole in my brain one of these days. Like my grandfather, I am a mature sperm. Like we're all just sperm, and you came out of your dad's balls, and your dad came out of his dad's balls, and like I was just thinking,
Try to keep a straight face, good dude.
yeah, I knew that. I was like balls, sperm.
I was like,
I was like, he gonna laugh. He tried it.
I was trying to keep it together.
But nah, the short end of that, it got me thinking. Like, do you know how many generations of men it took to create this? Like you.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning of time, it took all these niggas fucking to create you. And if you follow that like line of that chain of events, that's you'll unlock a lot of stuff about yourself you didn't know. Like my grandfather, like my mom's dad, was the son of a white man. Mm-hmm. Like his dad was Irish, his mom was black. He could pass for white in some places. He met my grandmother. Had my mom, and goddamn, like, but his lineage stops there because he had a daughter that had a son.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he had one son, and I think his son had a daughter. Mm-hmm. You know, so like his lineage is gone now.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I look at the Indians. They trace their families back at 500 years or 5,000 years, something like that. So it's important that to them that they stay within the culture. You got to marry Indian. Yeah. You got to know their genetics and stuff like that. And I don't think, as black people, I don't think we paid a lot of attention to that, nor know our history well enough.
I told you that one story. White shorty, you know, she got mad at me because I told her I don't want to marry or have kids with no white woman.
No,
I want to continue my race.
I can't. I was about to say it goes against everything I have to stand for.
Heard. Like,
you know what I mean? I'm not a racist because of that, and I'm sure there are white people who feel the same way about black. They don't want no black in their family bloodline, nothing.
I feel no
and I was about to say, and I'm not mad at them. Like, all right, like you can still have sex and copulate with black people.
Yeah,
you just don't want to marry and create a future with them. And I can't be mad at that because I know that is just a cultural thing.
And because it's special, like you want to have that.
It preserves you.
Yeah, that heritage, that lineage, that tradition. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a special thing.
Real shit.
When you know that thing is like pure.
Yeah,
and pure can be taken as a negative connotation. You know what I'm saying? But pure in the sense that everyone's Italian, everyone's African, everyone's Japanese. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Just
like
preserving that heritage. You know, that's all that is. It's no offense.
Yeah.
And it's just like that's why me and my sister, me and Bree.
It's pride in that.
Exactly. That's the word I was going for. We take pride in like goddamn. Yeah, we date black. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
we fuck with the niggas.
Yeah, that is what it is. Like, but I was about to make a terrible. Let's continue because I would have ruined all the good things we just said. What was you saying?
But I was saying, like, you know, it does take a lot, you know, to be married, and people nowadays really don't consider it. And I was considerate for myself.
Yeah. And
you know, I said it before, but I think I'm a whole lot more stronger knowing that I'm really not gonna get married.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
I think what is it? The only way I would get married is if it is a money move. It's got to be a money move. Like we both making bread, we both smart, and it's business in this, and or like, well, no, not even then, because then that just complicates things more.
And you know what happens when you get divorced?
Yeah, like half. Like, unless
I want half, Eddie.
Sign that prenup type shit. But like, motherfucking yeah.
Shit.
I ain't going through that. That's a whole that's a legal thing. That's not a relationship.
And that's the other part that I don't even touch on a whole lot, but I think that is important to even touch on is that marriage is a legal binding to one person. And in the eyes of the government, you are one unity. You're one unit. You're one.
Yeah.
And so, in a lot of cases where nowadays you're learning that, let's say you do give your fiance a prenup to sign or whatever. Nowadays, they have lawyers who can retract all that shit and get around the fucking
Anita Baker
prenup.
got her shit back.
And it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I sign? What's going on?
Yo, and that's another thing too. Like
this shit is crazy.
That's a funny part of the argument of like, say, the De La Souls and the Anita Bakers. Like, I know. Like, we should be siding with the creatives on these things about like how they didn't know any better and they signed these contracts out of desperation, and now that they do, they want out, etc., etc. Anita Baker's is a little more understanding than, say, a De La Souls, because like her contract, it should have been up. The time should have been up. All that kind of stuff. I don't know too many of the details, but I do know this: the consequences for actions should remain.
And what it's shown me, a lot of cases is that, and this may sound pretty crazy, but this is why women don't have to take much accountability for things, because they can say, I signed this prenup under duress, and it could all be null and void, right?
It has to be proven though, and it's not easy to prove.
It's being proven, and these bitches are walking away with half.
Yeah, and if it is being proven, then hopefully it was a case where they were under duress.
But a lot of times though, who's to say that this person was, or the bitch is lying? You know what I'm saying? Like, these people aren't. The point I'm trying to make is that we're not holding these people accountable for the decisions that they're making. You know what I mean? And we're always finding ways to get around being held accountable for this type of shit.
Right.
Because a man will be held accountable for marrying this woman and then now having to give up half his shit to this bitch.
Now, see, if we're talking specifically on the marriage topic instead of like the music industry topic, as far as the contracts are concerned, like, things have to be. I notice now, like, while we might be, as men these days, we might be very jaded on a lot of things, but like, women need that protection in place. Because naturally, if we're going to talk about men and women, we're naturally stronger. We're naturally this, we're naturally that. So women need these kind of things in place, because when they weren't there, they were taken advantage of. And this is not me trying to cape. It's just like, it is what it is. Some of these things, like I mean, women need that in place, because other than that, men take advantage of them.
All right. So using that logic, right? Relate that to a woman divorcing a man and winning half his shit.
Right. Well, I mean, the rules are the rules, right? He knew that to be married.
But so
if he ain't get that prenup, it is what it is, pimp. But
at the same time, and this is where the double standard kicks in, right? Because you're right, women do need our protection. Yeah. Us providing that protection and that safe space for women to thrive in is something that only a man can do most of the time. Mm-hmm. But the double standard kicks in is when they yell to the high heavens that they don't need no nigga for shit. They got their own money. They can take care of themselves. Fuck my baby daddy. Fuck these niggas. Like,
and the wealthiest woman in the world is wealthy off of divorce. I understand where you're going.
So it's like, don't tell me you don't need my fucking money, but then want to give me for half my shit that you ain't work for.
I understand.
You know what I mean? And this is where I want to get fired. Let me lower my voice.
Yeah, get fired up.
No.
I say get fired up.
Because this is something I get overly passionate about. But I'm gonna lower my voice because this isn't something that triggers me. But
yeah.
I have to make that note. In this day and age, where again we don't hold women's feet to the fire, and then when we do, where it's labeled as like bullying them or picking on them because we're trying to hold them accountable and acknowledge their double standards as well, that benefits them the same way certain double standards benefits men. Like it becomes extremely messy, and it gets put off because women will like to be held accountable for their shit. They won't be able to benefit off the things that they don't have to be held accountable for, i.e. being divorced and having to sign a prenup and not getting anything out of it. Instead, it's, no, I signed this shit under duress. I didn't want to. He made me. When a lot of cases, it's like, no, if we're going to be signing papers, like, let's sign papers.
Okay.
I didn't put no gun to your head and made you sign that shit.
However, okay, like I mean, I can see what you're saying. Like, say a woman does sign a prenup, they get the divorce. She says she was under duress when she signed said prenup. The only incentive for her to go back on that word is because she knows she gets half if she didn't sign said prenup, and so it's money oriented, that decision. Yes, it feels conniving. Sure.
Because let's think about it.
You got to get it how you live, though.
But let's think about it, right? So let's say said woman signs said prenup.
Yeah.
Right. And now, for whatever reason, a divorce is being transpired. Doesn't matter who initiated it. Let's just say a divorce is being transpired. Right. Mm-hmm. Let's say they mutually agree that they want to get divorced. Right. So in this example, right, as a man, you tell me, do you want to leave this thing amicably, or do you want to just get your last little dig on this bitch? You tell me what you would do.
I want to leave it alone. I don't need no extra drama. That's just me though. I was telling Shorty that recently too. Like my thing, I know that with my awareness that I try to carry myself like. The best way I could hurt you is to take myself away from you.
But see, and that's where we as men, because we understand like how much power that holds. Women know that the power we hold within us is to reserve ourselves from them in that aspect, to not get anything, to not give anything else.
Right.
Because they need us to give those things. So that power lies in that. Okay, well, hey, I'm gonna make you give me something. Nigga, I signed this shit under duress. I want something. And it's a wrap if you don't have no prenup.
Like a dude that signed a prenup?
No, the woman.
Oh, okay.
A woman knows that like the worst thing you can do is like leave with all your shit. She's gonna feel like I want to leave with something too. Not just my pussy.
Makes sense. Like a woman, for me in that instance, like it gets real simple for me. Like right is right, wrong is wrong, and the justice system is the justice system. So like
I don't know, is it don't favor men at all?
Precisely. Like, well, I mean, sometimes it favors a lot of white men. Sometimes, like, but if anything, like, especially in these marriage cases, like, say the prenup thing is going on. She says she signed it under duress, where I go, right is right, wrong is wrong. If it was like he didn't have to have a gun to her head, but we know what intimidation is. If he intimidated her into signing some shit, and she says it was under duress, that's on pimping. When you're wrong or something, or when you did something, whether it was wrong or right, you know when you did it. And you can give yourself a different perspective and story about it, but you know what you did. And so when the consequences come, just be ready. And that's the type of shit I'm looking at with that one. And if he didn't do it, hopefully he can prove it, and it's easy to prove in court, because that's where I go, the justice system.
And that's what I'm speaking to, because let's say you can prove it. Mm-hmm. Let's say it was a mutual agreement, but because a bitch is now aggravated and feels, like
she has a better lawyer,
or anything. Because let's be honest, lawyers come up with this shit that my client signed this paper under duress.
I just watched the People versus OJ.
Dog,
it's a lawyer's job to get you to believe.
Nigga, watch Cocaine Cowboys. Watch how these fucking lawyers just flip the whole game, and these niggas don't even get charged for the shit that the fucking DEA was trying to charge them for.
Yeah.
Which was drugs.
Yeah.
They charge these niggas on fake passports. Like, what the fuck?
But that's a lawyer's job, is to switch that shit. So that's why I'm looking at the justice system like, okay, there's the good, the bad, and then there's the justice system. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna pick it. That is a roll of the dice. Yeah. At that point, it's a roll of the dice. But we gotta look at accountability on this end. Why did you get married in the first place? Are you saying that you were pressured by this woman? If you received pressure and your pipe burst, it was weak. You mean it's just you got to go all the way back to the chain of events to kind of see what began these things, or what got these people into these situations. And the nigga that is upset at the woman who wanted money from their divorce, shouldn't have married her in the first place.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. But like you said, like that woman might have been pressuring them to get married. A man
Hey.
can't say she made me marry her and I was under duress.
Because
Court gonna be like, nigga, you a bitch. Like,
real
what?
shit, and it's just like, but oh my fault. I said real shit, real spit. Nah, but like,
Made it rain.
yeah, nah, cause I could definitely understand, like, shit, man. Like, no man wants to feel like, but it's just like, yeah, man. At that point, you married the woman. Like she said, if you don't marry me, I'm leaving you. What you gonna do? And you married. Like you folded. It is what it is.
But okay, so in that same instance, right? So boom, my guy says, sign this prenup or we ain't getting married.
Right.
A woman says, nigga, marry me or I'm leaving you.
Okay.
What's the difference?
It's
intimidation.
I was about to say that is that. A wise man ought to know though, like, motherfucking, if you have to be intimidated into a choice, why? You know what I'm saying? If something's being forced on you that you don't want for yourself, if you're doing what is right for you, you would have never ended up in that situation.
And that's where, again,
where you say, I don't think I'll ever get married.
And the double standard applies because a man can, we negate the fact that a man could be, what's the word we just used? We just said it.
That's it.
A force. What's the other word for force?
Another word for force.
We just said it.
Pressure.
Pressure. Oh fuck. Alright, whatever. No. Fuck. Anyway, we negate the fact. Intimidation.
Yeah.
We negate interrogate. Initiate.
I said intelligent. I said intel.
Indivisible.
Intellisource.
That nigga's broke. Let me stop.
They mad as shit. Shit, I ain't been to work 3 months and I made more money than they did.
They come back with a big ass chain.
I feel good. Oh my mouth.
Oh my hood. But yeah, so we totally negate the fact that men could potentially be intimidated into making certain decisions because why? We're the stronger sex. Mm-hmm. We're the things that take more control physically, right? Mm-hmm. We give that leniency to women because they're not the strongest sex. They can't protect themselves in that way, right? So if ever a man is like, I was threatened or I was intimidated to do such a thing, it's like, well, nigga, how come you just ain't do it?
Well, you mentioned pride and ego earlier. A lot of men have too much pride and ego to even assert those words. Now, say if you're dealing with court, then it's different. It's easy to remove said pride and ego because, damn that, these words are what get results in the courts. If you feel like you were intimidated, pressured in any way, you have to convince a jury or et cetera, et cetera. But like, the argument can be made. It's just like I said, that roll of that dice that
because here's the thing, right? So, and I'm gonna speak from personal experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in a situation last year, right around when quarantine started. I was with someone, and things weren't going the way it should have been going. Yeah. And things got real nasty. Yeah. And said person gave me an ultimatum. They said, "You need to." Say you're gonna be with me or I'm leaving and you're never gonna see me again. No. Right now, and I take full accountability for the fold and for my decision to keep said person around. Right. I take full accountability for that.
I wish I was around at that time.
It's fine.
I'm sorry, man.
It's nothing to do with you. It's nothing to do with you. But in my real life example, right, no one was gonna tell me that
wait, I think I was right.
Like, oh man, like I can't believe she did that to you. I feel so sorry for you. You don't deserve that. No, it's nigga. fuck that bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she gave you ultimatum. You like, nigga, what?
That's why I'm saying I wish we had like discussed that, but in a moment.
Yeah, like
I remember now we wasn't
Yeah.
on bad terms at that point. It was just
we weren't talking as frequently.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
And like you ain't gonna call me in the middle of y'all argument. Manny, what should I do? She's leaving.
Like, it was bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was really bad. But again, I take full accountability for my decision in that moment. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have to, but because of the situation I was in and the way the factors were lining up, like I made that decision under duress, under pressure, and being intimidated in that factor, right? If I had did that same thing to her, like, if you
don't commit to me, you won't have me,
and you will leave. Imagine that.
You'd have left. And
if I would have told her that, like, hey, like, if you're not gonna be with me, you need to leave and get all your shit and get the fuck out. Then I'm the most terrible nigga in the world.
Well, that's tough because she wasn't kicking you out of her place. She was leaving you at your place.
Right.
Like, you would have to be leaving her at her place.
Either way, the moment
for that to be like a, because I can see what you're saying.
But the moment of the rest,
you kick the rest being that you kicking her out and she has no place to live now. That's a whole different level of
semantics.
Like, what? I was like, wait a minute. You made her homeless though in this scenario.
But she wouldn't have been. She had somewhere to fucking stay.
Okay.
Like, at that point, she wasn't even staying there. At that point, she was there because quarantine had just happened, and she was just happened to be there.
Okay, so that's an understanding that you had, like, see, you understood that in your own head already. Yeah. I didn't understand that outside here.
Yeah, like, she wasn't living with me at that point. It was like right before that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then that makes sense.
Yeah.
Either way, it's the same ordeal of I'm leaving, I'm not gonna be here anymore.
Right.
You have a different. All right.
So, like, but there will be no sympathy from me for, like, giving that girl an ultimatum like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, and I think in a lot of ways, it's even little shit like that. Or even the fact that, you know, like, I don't want to keep ranting on about the shit that women do, but the double standards exist for the both of us, and that it's not acknowledged enough that it exists for both of us, and because I know that they exist, I'm just gonna choose not to involve myself when it becomes like that.
I can see that. I'll pivot. I do notice that, like, motherfucking like, we're in healing stages, right? And I've been healing as far as, like, motherfucking how I feel and my jade towards the ladies and whatnot. And I feel like I've been making leaps and bounds in this process, more so because I've been I've been able to mend a lot of relationships, or just not even necessarily revisit problems that I had. Like, say my sister, Lonnie, she used to be the tomboy and everything, and that was my homie. The moment she started liking boys, shit just got different between us. I'm put it like that. Like, so, like, motherfucking, I identified with that loss of my homie and motherfucking and Lonnie, and I was just like, it made me, like, look at women in a way, and just a lot of my comeuppance, and, like, you know, just a lot of different scenarios. It put me on to a perspective that women are like this. And the shorty I'm dealing with, I'm so grateful that she has so many brothers, because her brothers put her on game that women are like this. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason that she can understand why I am having such a hard time, because she knows that it ain't nothing but, like, there's a lot of bitches out here slutting themselves out. There's a lot of bitches out here trying to turn niggas against each other, fucking both niggas, like, getting run through, getting trained, all this shit. Like, and they acting like this girl or that girl, but you really just a smut. You know, I have a lot of that same jade in me, so I understand where you're coming from. Today I sound like I've been playing devil's advocate, But it's just that I'm understanding behind the layers of a lot of anger.
It's all like it's because and because you're right, and that's something I kind of had to learn the hard way, just about what female nature is, and how like you can't change it, you can't fight it.
Right.
You can only do better for yourself.
That's why when I was just like the richest woman in the world is a billionaire off a divorce, I ain't mad at it because you got to get it how you live.
And again, as a woman, like you benefit from shit like that.
Yeah.
Because
it's there for you.
Because I ain't never heard no billionaire rich man rich off some fucking divorce.
You know what I'm saying? And it happens. I gotta find me a Rothschild like Jay Electronica.
I ain't never heard it. I ain't never heard it. Because the richest niggas I know all
self-made or this, that, so on and so forth.
They sold drugs, made music, they started a business.
I mean,
they killed nigga, whatever. They ain't got no money off no fucking divorce.
It ain't no money.
Or child support.
I mean,
or food stamps, goddamn.
Like, and there's a lot of wealthy women that like have made their own way too. The numbers don't lie though. We already know what it is, but again, that's it's a man's world type thing. Like a lot of this shit is, we think just the same way black people feel like this. A lot of shit is set up nicely for white men, white people, women in general. Have an understanding that a lot of things are set up because men set them up, and so it's really, this is a man's world. Like that, it just is what it is.
Beyonce tried to make y'all feel better too, but it was a lie.
What you said? You said what?
I said Beyonce tried to make y'all feel better.
Oh yeah,
but it was a lie.
Listen,
just know that.
And
it ain't real.
I ain't gonna start on her because but we won the world. I hated that song. I hated that
because we don't like liars.
It was like girls. I was like, first of all, like that just sounded like one of those things that the girls make up as kids when we little kids and they running around singing and shit. Who runs the world?
Or even most recently when Ariana's running around saying God is a woman. I'm just like,
oh yeah, God is a woman because your pussy's good, bitch.
That's what I'm saying. No. Like, listen.
No. You made me... And that's how these bitches these days value themselves. Look at the... Uh-oh.
Wait.
I just see you. Look what you did. Look what you did.
Wait.
All my progress.
Wait. I just want to put this out there because lately I get a lot of shit. For this shit I be saying on.
Oh shit! Yeah, preface that, motherfucker.
So recently, right? This is the second time someone has taken offense to something I've said.
He said, "I am the devil." I ain't got a soul on me.
You can't get a hold of me.
He said, "I am the devil."
These bitches can't control me. But so recently, said bitch. Let me stop what you watching.
She said, I heard everything
you said. Shit, God, but that's another thing. It's my fucking platform. I'm gonna say the fuck I want to say. That's the first thing. Second thing is, I mentioned on a prior podcast that that I'm judgmental, but I don't speak these judgments out loud. These are things that go on for me internally.
Right.
With that said, I added on that I'm no longer trying to be judgmental. I'm trying to be more patient than what I already am and give people more grace than what I've already been giving them.
Yeah.
Right? Me saying that says that I'm not openly judging people. That's my own mental thing that I have to work on, and I'm giving people grace.
Yes.
That's what that says, right?
I remember that.
I said that right here. You sat right here.
Specifically the grace part.
You sat right here, and I sat right here with this shit in front of us, right? So said person hits me up and was like, you're super judgmental. I don't want to be around nobody who judges me. You walk around with this air of arrogance and this type of thing.
Insecure.
Let me tell you something, bitch.
What about that?
This is not arrogance that I walk around with. This is called self-confidence, right? And this is something that clearly you lack. Because if you're around someone with self-confidence in themselves to know that they can admittedly say that they judge people but are looking to change that,
right.
That says more about me than it does about you. right?
That's
I'm living in my raw, honest truth when I come on here and say the shit that goes on in my own fucking head that I don't let no one else in on. I say it all the time that these are conversations me and you have on and off camera.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't have to share this with none of you niggas.
We just put the camera here. It would have been said either way.
And so with that being said, I'm not looking to like downplay nobody. I'm not looking to give nobody the blues or anything. I'm not looking to do anything negative besides express my deepest thoughts, my deepest feelings with the nigga who I know I can share those things with. And you guys are now privy to hearing these things, right?
Yeah.
In the same way that I said I'm not trying to judge people, you are being the most hypocritical in judging me, saying that I'm not gonna, like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? God damn.
I said the same thing in a couple episodes ago. Of course, I was drunk when I did, but like, motherfucking, I was. It's just very freeing to be able to do these things. Like, sure, I say like I'm insecure and stuff, but to be able to even say that on camera, to
strengthen that.
Yeah,
It's
confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's confidence. Don't get it fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? I have my insecurities, but I know I'm better than more than half y'all niggas. Like, so it's not a thing of like. That's what gives me solace in all my opinions and all the things that come out of our mouths when we're on this platform. Because one, we created it, and two, like, I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't believe in none of that stuff. Like, you can't stop me from being me.
Right.
You just can't.
And when I really sat down with it, you know what I mean, and like, you know, I was in the gym when I saw that shit, and I hit you up, and I'm just like, man, like, yo,
that shit grinds
fucking
gears, dog.
And I'm like, yo, like, when did I say that? And I went through our text messages with her. I was like, I even said, I don't judge you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, what in what world?
Now,
in what fucking
coming
world?
from somebody who does live in their own insecurities and has experienced this feeling, like, motherfucking, it doesn't matter what you tell somebody like that. They got to know it for themselves.
But that's the thing, though, like, and that's the difference with you, though, right? You're a whole lot more self-aware and can acknowledge these things, right? Just like on the last pod, you know, when you thought I said something that, you know, kind of sparked something in you,
right.
You know, you were able to bring it up and ask. Mm-hmm. You didn't run with your assumptions.
Right.
This bitch ran with her assumptions. She took the baton and ran with that motherfucker.
But you know what, though? I had to make that mistake before to have known it was a mistake. These people don't have... You know, I was at Shorty's crib, and like her brothers was there and whatnot, and I was kicking it with them, and like I just felt bad in my subconscious because I was like, man, if I was some of these guys' friends, like they would have somebody that they could really like chop it up with, like they could really express themselves to, because like not only we grown, I'm done with that pause shit, but like, you know what I mean, like on some shit, you could tell that like, you know, your vices and the way you drink or smoke or whatever you do, like you only abuse as much as you need to sedate your feelings. Right. Like there's something there, and like the harder you go, the worse the problem is that you haven't paid any attention to and that you haven't tried to fix. Sometimes all it takes is being heard. All it takes is expressing yourself and having somebody who doesn't judge you. Yeah. But like a lot of motherfuckers don't have that.
And it gets down to the point where, like you said, you know, they turn to other alternatives instead of just expressing themselves.
Right.
And
killing themselves slowly.
And this is where I give some amount of grace to, because sometimes you don't even know how to express these things, especially if you weren't given the safe spaces to express yourself,
right? Or
know what it means to express yourself,
right?
Like what are those words? How can you say that? You know, what you said, you know, made me angry and made me feel this way. Like, how do you say that when you don't know how to say it?
Right.
How do you
the
say
lack of communication?
Like how do you say that? You know, after my ex broke my heart, you know, I was depressed. Like, how do you say that if you don't know how to say that shit?
That's
you know
so
what I mean?
funny, having the vocabulary and the understanding to understand your own feelings. Like,
yeah, it takes a lot.
It was a funny little moment where I said, what did I say? I said, I was describing some concept, and I said, Big Brother is watching, and motherfucker said, what they said? They said, oh yeah, Big Brother, Big Sister, and I kept hearing the Big Sister. I was like, what is that? Big brother, big sister, what are you saying? I said big brother is watching. And she was like, big brother, big sister, like the organization that helps the kids and stuff. And I was like, first of all, I hate stupidity. Like, I don't want to come off as the asshole. Like, I don't, I try not to seem like I'm Mr. Big Guy. Who do you think you are? But, dog, come on. And so I had to break it down like, nah, big brother, as in government, is watching.
And all that.
And, but from that person's experiences and understanding, all they know is the only familiarity they have with the terminology of big brother.
Boys and Girls Club.
Not even the big brother and big sister, the organization that helped broke, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
families and stuff. So it's just like, yeah, you can never understand. Sometimes it's hard to like understand. I can see how it is harder to understand these concepts when you aren't smart enough.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
And sometimes, and what I was referring to earlier, like sometimes people lack the emotional intelligence.
True, because they don't pay attention to how they feel.
Yeah, it takes a lot to analyze and know when you're feeling something, right? Like yesterday, I wasn't gonna speak on. I'm gonna speak on it now because we're on topic, whatever. Man, listen, I wasn't cool at all. I sat in this motherfucker all day. Ain't come out the house. I was in the dark, like just. I was like,
oh, so a day in the life of Manny.
Yeah, I was like, yep. I was like,
but I'll be happy. I
said,
the dark and
I
shit.
saw her. I was like, I'm depressed. I sat right here, sat my ass in the shower for a long ass time.
Yeah.
Just sitting there, and I'm just like, yeah, this is what it is. And like, I was thinking of all the things that I know that could help, but nothing was helping. I'm like, yeah, this is depression. And for the longest time, like, and I'll let you finish, but this and in that moment, because I was super like just now it's different, right?
Yeah.
I'm now feeling these things in my own environment. So now I'm recollecting the times where I felt like this in other environments. Mm-hmm. Back when I was living in Philly, back when I've been living at my parents' house from a young age to adolescence, to when I was in college. Like, I can look back at these specific times where I felt just like this, just like it. And I'm like, yeah, I really do deal with this shit, dog. And it's one thing when I can immediately catch it before it arrives and I can start doing something to negate the feeling. But then it's another thing that if I don't catch it soon enough, there's nothing I can do about it. Like nothing. All this up here it's no good. It's no fucking good.
Dude, now what I was about to ask when you thought of it, I wasn't thinking about me. I was thinking where, and I'm proud of that. I was like, I love this. I'm getting better at being a person. But
I'm becoming human.
Yeah, I'm a good guy.
It's like an iRobot.
I'm a real boy. I said, I love you. I said, I ain't gay.
I like women.
I ain't mad.
That's what Divine we did. So I saw him mock bed.
But no, what I was thinking was like, dog, like how? All right, when you got because I'm very familiar with this space, so it's easy for me to get to why am I feeling this way? Where is this coming from? What's wrong?
Yeah.
What was wrong?
It was several things. But the overarching thing for me that I realized that got me to that point, and what usually gets me to that point, is knowing is like self-disappointment and self-loathing, not meeting my own, again, expectation, and something I'm really trying to work on, not meeting the expectations that I have for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like that will send me all the way down. And it's no coming back from that shit. I know where that space is. Like it ends up feeling like, what is the point to anything? Yeah, I won't say that. Oh.
I guess my space gets a little deeper than yours. I'd be like, man, I just want to die.
I don't go that far.
I go 6 feet deep.
I go ankle.
He said, nigga taller than my knees, but he's shorter than my waist.
My thing is, I sit there and instead of, I know the point of shit, it becomes of just like I said, self-loathing, like some extreme self-loathing. You know what I mean? A lot of self-deprecating. You know what I'm saying? Like losing, in a way, thinking of like what is it all for, and then like regressing into like bad habits and things that really don't help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what's the point of
self-sabotaging?
Yeah, might as well not eat, lay down, watch
like
YouTube all day.
Or just fucking eat terribly. You know what I mean? And just like not utilize my time. And
overspend.
It's like, like any and everything that will make me feel worse, which is so... That's why I hate depression. Because you add on to it.
Yeah. Like every time I get depressed, $60 on DoorDash.
Like, nigga, I took my ass. I said, yeah, can I get a medium pepperoni pizza, 10-piece butter wings, Dr. Pepper?
Because you think it's going to be the last day you're alive. So you eat your best meal.
Man, listen, I walked right around the corner of that motherfucking one. That shit like, word out. Hand me that shit, I was like,
real
thank you.
Shit.
Man, I walked back home. Listen, I sat right here.
Damn.
Cut that goddamn TV
sad
on.
here, bro.
Dog, it's like everything just like it just piles on, and it's just like, man, I'm tired of this shit. Like I ain't want to, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna sit here. Like I don't even fucking matter. But you know, luckily I'm able to get to the point now where, when it gets that bad, I know it, and I give myself that time to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So today, for example, I'm still feeling the remnants of it, but it wasn't as bad as it was yesterday. Yeah. You know, and I wasn't sitting with it for too long, because I told myself like, all right, tomorrow is gonna be better.
Yeah.
That's what I told myself. Tomorrow's gonna be better. I'm gonna wake up. I'm just gonna just take it a step at a time. Step at a time.
I like what. Well, I took. There was a point in which I took advantage of some advice you had given me, and I abused it because I took it too far to a point where I was just like, okay, if something messes up, or I can chalk it up to a bad day, and the next day will be better. But like when I chalk it up to a bad day, that's what allows me or opens the door to all those bad decision making. Things, you know, like I'm like, oh, it's a bad day, make bad decisions. Like, and that's not exactly
it's not meant to give you an out.
Right.
It's an acknowledgement to know that you're not as great as you can be in your regular day.
And I don't like to call it too early either.
Yeah,
because like if I say, oh, it's a bad day, it's a bad day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely called it around like towards at the end of the night. Like, yeah, this was awful.
Yeah.
Like it was terrible. You know what I'm saying? But again, it comes. What makes it again easier nowadays is I can acknowledge it, and I don't have to like go every day walking around with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I used to do when I was younger. Like I didn't do well with like dealing with it. I was always just walking with it.
Yeah.
You know, subconsciously, and sometimes consciously. You know what I mean? And so it takes a lot. It takes a lot of wherewithal and understanding, really who you are. So,
speaking of understanding who you are, goddamn, I be looking at like how Family Guy had gotten their identity from The Simpsons, and so on and so forth. And I think I found a show that does it better than them all.
What?
Paradise PD.
You sent me a clip of that shit.
Yeah, and I was like, he ain't watched this damn shit.
I did. I ain't laugh.
What? I was like, I'm watching the show and I'm like, this is everything Kobe would laugh at. This is gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna send him this clip. And I didn't see no ha-has, no nothing. I was just like, oh, you must not watch that shit. What?
Nah, I synced it.
That's the crazy thing, man. Like, motherfucker, because you sent me that bullshit. with the bull from Dragon Ball Z. Talking some, I don't know what he was saying. But like,
I still forgot what that nigga
yeah.
said. But I knew that shit was funny to me. I was like, hey.
Like, I'm about to watch the clips next to each other.
Hey, look, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. If you send niggas some shit that you think is funny,
Yeah, I'm saying.
be prepared for that nigga not to laugh.
You better be lucky that we ain't bet no money on nothing, cause I'd be a broke motherfucker. Shit. Listen, look at that clip you sent.
Like, I'm used to it now. Like, me sending you some shit, and I'm like, oh, he ain't find that funny. Alright, try again next time.
This nigga.
A hater. I could care less about his hairline or how fly he's become. You are still no match for Jerome the Black. This nigga's power is increasing.
This nigga's powers increasing. That was the only part that had me cracking up. He said, this nigga here.
I saw that shit. I didn't even get to look the whole time that I was hearing it. All I heard was in my left ear, yo! I was just sitting there like, this nigga. That's my cousin.
Yo, his shit,
And I knew you was laughing just like you're laughing right now as I saw that. I said, this nigga this shit. I said, this is it. That's what I mean. I was just like, how is this not funny? Handicap. I see.
This shit was.
What? Did it cut to handicap? Oh. Oh. What y'all want me to do, man? I still, y'all check it out. Don't take his word for it. Paradise PD got that word.
Nah, you know what it is? Like, cause for me, like handicap shit, like the funniest shit I've seen of like any like show that did like funny handicap shit.
Oh, I was about to say, don't tell me you got a heart. Oh, I was like, this a whole new code. This is bullshit. As soon as I find something funny.
No, I was gonna say like the funniest people who had some funny shit on handicapped people to me was like South Park, like Jimmy and Timmy and all that. Like,
and I see the origin of the funnies. I never laughed at South Park.
Oh my god,
I never laughed.
Man,
at
we
South
used to
Park.
watch that shit. Me, my dad, Christian. Even me and Zay used to watch that shit. Like, goddamn, like that shit is classic. That's some classic shit right there.
And
That's some classic
Speaking
shit.
of classic shit, it's on the 18th this week. It's gonna be homie's birthday. Old girl's brother and whatnot, and they going to the strip club and whatnot. And he was asking me if I was gonna be. I'm gonna be working, so I ain't gonna be there and whatnot. But like, even still, like, I've never been to a strip club. Don't think I need to.
Yeah, I've always been against them.
Yeah, I was telling an old girl, she was just like, because I was telling her, yeah, you could come, like, you should come with us, da-da-da. She was like, nah, and then, but I like that we have an understanding of where our boundaries lie for each other and what we can handle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she was just like, I'm not gonna like seeing you see that, so I'm gonna just let you enjoy yourself. I'm cool, because for me, I'm not rich enough to be throwing money, and even if I was, it's just like, bitch, you better be shaking your ass on me for free. Like, I feel like, you know what I mean?
And to me, it's like,
for nothing.
If I'm gonna pay for some pussy, you need to be fucking me.
You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn.
Like, I don't get me wrong. Like, I get it.
Get it how you live. It's the hustle, right?
And not well, aside from that, I'm talking about just for what niggas go there for.
Right.
I get it. I understand. But let's say even if I did have this money to spend, I would feel like it's such a waste. Just giving it to a bitch who's just shaking her ass in my face.
Well, this bitch might come home. She might come home.
But half them bitches ain't coming home with you unless you really like balling like that.
Yeah, and those are the ones it's for. Those are the ones.
And that's what I'm
you
saying.
Go out and you try and prove you the biggest baller.
They gonna go home with a Rick Ross, with a Drake. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go home with even some of the niggas who just around them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And a lot of times these hoes be having boyfriends anyway. And it's like, I don't know, bitch. Like, go ahead, make your fucking money.
Yeah.
But for me as a man, like, again, if I'm gonna have to pay for some pussy, you're gonna have to be really like giving me that fucking pussy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying, because for all that, I might as well pay for porn.
Yeah.
I might as well.
Yeah. And I have.
Right.
Technically. With
Yeah.
The OnlyFans thing.
And it's like, I might as well do that, because at least then it's like, at least some of these bitches out here fucking, at least.
Yeah, at least I can pull my dick out.
Yeah, like, facts. I'm not, nah, man. I don't want to, that's not something I ever thought about.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but that's not something that I was anxious to do or wanted to do ever. Like, it's, nah.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Call
Call me broke, call me misogynistic. I don't give a fuck. I'm not, I ain't with it.
And speaking of which, I haven't masturbated in over a week.
Good shit.
My man. Because I've been having sex.
I just had sex,
and it felt so good. So if you just had sex in the last 30 minutes, then you qualify to sing with me. I just had sex.
I was ready for you to skip to the end.
Oh, yeah,
I was about to get to the verse.
I don't know the words.
I forgot.
But I didn't, it was funny he was talking about, like, feeling bad yesterday and stuff. Because, shit, when I came in here today, this morning I was not, like, it wasn't a bad morning. It was more so like I woke up, all right, I'm with old girl, and let's just say, and you know,
What?
I didn't leave the house happy. Let's just say that. Just that. I didn't leave the house in the best mood. So, like, motherfucking, and those are also incremental stages. Like, when you just, I ain't gonna get it there. It's gonna get me fired up. I turned into a whole.
Speaking of fired up,
What's
nigga, I was watching this video. I forget, they made an example. It was just like that one time Stone Cold Steve Austin came out and he sang such and such, and he started Stone Cold stuttering everybody on the ring, and they showed him everything he got.
Stone Cold stunned.
He did it to 11 niggas in that ring, yo. I was crying. I never watched wrestling a day in my life, but seeing that stupid shit was the funniest shit I ever seen, yo.
You never watched. This was. I ain't gonna do it like that.
What?
We was reading the description for the jump, the movie. Goddamn, it said WW2. She said World Wrestling.
Back to school.
World War. I was just so disappointed, man. So we got work to do.
He said the Nina, the Peter, the Seth Maria.
I said A, B, C. I'm fucking with you.
He said this is a circle.
Hey, man.
2 + 2.
Shoot.
Oh my god.
Oh, we were just laughing, and that was something I was looking at on the phone. Like as far as my topics was concerned, I did. I'm done trying to keep myself boxed in, right?
Yeah.
Like I want to do everything that I want to do. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I really enjoy doing and have always enjoyed doing was making people laugh.
Right.
I want to go to a impromptu club one of these days and just jump on a comedy club stage and make some jokes.
That would be kind of lit.
Like, just see if I can make the people in the crowd laugh. You know what I mean? Like, because the way I look at Kevin Hart when I was listening to him on his last stand-up that I didn't find funny at all, I did respect that he was talking about how hard it is to write jokes and and I was just like, yo, comedians write jokes and punchlines in their jokes and the timing and the stories just like rappers write their raps. Right. And so if I can, I know how to make people laugh and stuff just in normal conversation, but if I start to really be able to imagine the flow of said conversation and write it as a joke, it sounds like a fun thing to do. I love writing. I love creating. It's another way to create. Yeah. Would you ever consider that? Like,
I definitely considered stand-up, you know what I mean? I feel like I'd suck at it like a motherfucker, you know what I mean?
When we start off, we always going to be worse than the next one.
Yeah, for sure. Because, like, because I feel like I'm funny, but, like, not in a degree to, like, make a crowd of people laugh, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I'm funny once you get to know me. Like, I'm not just funny off rip.
Well, like, that's when we start making fun of people first. Like, you can't go wrong with that.
Well, true. But even then, like, I feel like how I make fun of people don't be funny.
Cause like the dark humor job.
Yeah, like I feel like I really like just hurt someone's feelings. But a lot of times that is funny. But I don't want that to be like.
You said. You thought thinking about it?
I be like, man, look at this nigga over here in the front. Like, goddamn.
Say something else.
I be like, you look like a fine young gentleman right here. Give it up for this young man right here. Give it up for this young man.
Say something. Not even seeing the person who said it, just here. Say something else. You don't know what.
Say something funny, nigga. That's my time, y'all. Good night. I'll let y'all later. My name Kobe Shelley. All right.
Man, shut the fuck up.
I love you too, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for coming out.
He said, did I just hear somebody say shut the F up?
Like, man, I know you ain't talking with you. You stand up, big ass nigga, like, I know you ain't talking with your trapezius beautiful muscles. You're a beautiful man.
See the nigga stand up, his traps is about to his ears.
Yeah, absolutely, a beautiful man, man. You work out, I can tell. You look great. What's your regimen?
He said, pause.
As a matter of fact, you're right. I'm gay as fuck.
He said, me too.
Never mind, y'all. Never mind, y'all. Young man.
That big ass nigga come over there. Me too. Amen.
Come to me like
big ass holiday hard ass nigga.
Yeah, come up to me like, Kobe Shelley. I'll be like,
Kobe, I can have you with cheese.
Kobe be my cheese.
I was gonna say Kobe wine with the next topic. Plans are loosely based on what we.
Speaking of what, I watched that video.
Did you? How'd you feel? Did it give you any perspective on that moment that you was in?
I watched it this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a little late.
Yeah.
But it shed light on a hindsight. And it's
it got into the one thing he said that kind of stuck out to me was like, and I mentioned to you about expectation, about how you can't stick to your expectations because shit can change.
That's the part that I remember that, and that's why I wanted you to see that.
And shit can change, and so when he said that part, it harkened back to that point for me. But then hearing this different explanation of it about like, he said, you want to dangle your plan in front of you.
Yeah.
And how you get so caught up in the plan of success and trying to be successful that a lot of times you forget why you're doing it. And then you begin to substitute that why with other things that you didn't start off doing as the factor as to why that you're doing, if that makes sense, right? So I got into that, and I'm just internalizing it like, okay, well, why am I doing the shit that I'm doing? Like what is it really all for? And and I had to again get real with myself and be like, all right, if this is really what it is for me, like and I think I know why I'm doing something, I can't lose sight of that. You know what I mean? Because I know why. Mm-hmm. The why is there. That's the why has never been a hard thing for me. I just end up losing sight of it a lot because again my expectations are not being met, and I'm finding that I'm giving myself too much like I'm not giving myself enough like room to fail. You know what I'm saying? And learning from those things. You know what I'm saying? Like I fail at something and it's just like, well, never try that again.
Right.
You know, or if it's continuous, I feel like, you know, maybe it's not meant for me. But in reality, it's like, no, like you're still learning. You have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I took away from it. And today, at least, I find that again, it's giving myself, you know, my own grace, practicing my own patience, and knowing that things are working out the way that they need to work out.
I sent that to you in that time because it felt like you, like what is it? You get so caught up in like things going to plan and as quickly as you want them to be. And that video, like he specifically started talking about how plans are very restricting sometimes. Yeah. Because it rules out all the other possibilities and opportunities that come in the future that you don't know about. And so like when you're trying to follow a designated plan that you wrote, it is really just a projection of the day that you're in.
Yeah, and then he was like that you think it's gonna happen continuously when shit changes.
Shit changes too much.
Don't get me wrong.
There's nothing wrong with having a sequence or a plan in there, but because you leave room for those other opportunities to bring themselves to you.
Right, because I'm not the one. I don't like feeling, you know, directionless. I like to know where the fuck I'm going and how I'm gonna get there. You know, so I am for planning. But again, like you said, I don't want it to be like restricting on me and the shit that I have to like let in to like let shit go as smooth as they can be. You know?
A lot of these things, these videos too, like sometimes their timing is just feeling like confirmation of my own thinking to me. Because for the past couple months, you know, like I haven't been going back to this W-2 work and whatnot. And then like, however, it's only because I have the opportunity to take that time off and do so. And then it had me. A lot of days I would feel a way about myself, like because of other people's perceptions and what they could be. Oh, he's not working hard, or he's not doing this, or he's like da. However, I move in what I know is right for me. And when I saw that explanation of plans and this and that, it allowed me to be more comfortable in how I make my decisions because I am more in tune than I know. And that's all. I like that. I'm glad that you did see that video and it shared some perspective on that.
Yeah, for sure. It really did. Like I'm glad I watched it when I did because yesterday I wasn't in the headspace to take in anything.
Yeah, like nobody feels like seeing what you're doing wrong all the time and being told to pick yourself up and you're terrible.
Like I was sitting in my own shit and I was like, all right, you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to deal with it.
Real shit,
you know.
Ain't
no thing.
I had a few more things, but I was wondering if we had you had any topics that you.
No, we touched on everything for me.
Solid.
That was it for me. You know.
Well, if anything, I'm gonna leave these for next episode. See, just because motherfucker, I'm gonna check them out too. But just because I know the some of these things, like we've when they were more so around that day that you did call me and like the realizations and like stuff that we were learning then, and I want that to be fleshed out more, and I want to see more results from that just growth process before I start touching on those topics.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, and process being the key thing here, like it's all one big process. You know what I mean? Is. And I had to kind of sit back for myself and be like, man, like. You're only 24. You've only been living on your own for like 3 months now. 4 now. It hasn't even been a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't sweat it, man.
And
you should be very proud of all this progress.
Yeah, and it's like, man, like, I wanna just give myself like again that grace and that patience to know like, all right, I'm gonna keep doing this because this is what I want to do. I'm gonna get better for me, and I'm gonna learn as much as I can to begin to thrive more in my life. And like knowing that I may not begin to truly feel in my mind successful in the next year, 2, 3, 4, however many, but I want to keep trying.
I know we've been going long. However, I had a question that just popped in my head. Do you feel like that pressure has also the pressure you feel on yourself to be in a better position? Do you feel like that has anything to do with the eyes that are on you?
I definitely, part of it is like society pressure for sure.
And to funnel it down to a more specific view, may it be the women in your life?
It has
I'm on to something.
Well, so I mentioned before about the Lawrence thing and Insecure.
Yeah.
About women wanting him to be something that he may not truly be. Right? And like I said, in a lot of ways I related to that. And I'm like, I want to self-improve for me.
Right.
But I
not at somebody else's pace.
Yeah, but I also know that if I'm not self-improving, I won't get that other thing that I want to, which is the bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that what I'm seeking is for me, but I know eventually that's what I want too.
Well, the reason I ask is because I feel like, are there women around you now? Are there women in your life now that are like making you feel uncomfortable as you are?
That made me feel uncomfortable at all. No.
Not purposely, just subconsciously.
Well, then uncomfortable wouldn't be the word. It would be
unsatisfied.
Just to keep working. Because before they were ever around, I was really never satisfied. Like, because if I ever did get satisfied, I don't think I would be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it adds to that unsatisfaction that because we all have shit going on, but I'm just like, I want to have shit going on for me too that I know is for me.
Yeah.
Like for example, just like when I started doing door to door or whatever, the main reason I did that is because I wanted to explore, I wanted to try something new, and I wanted to like just do something different. Like I didn't know what the fuck it was, but sure enough, it became less about that and more about me trying to live up to the standards of a lot of different people, and then looking a certain way to women. You know what I mean? Because I did this thing, and like it turned into something totally different.
An aesthetic.
Yeah, and it was like, man, like eventually it became less pleasing to me.
Yeah, 100%.
And so nowadays, like, all right, like now that I understand that, I know that I am doing all this shit for me, but then it's just like it's also that society pressure of just like, all right, like if you're not looking to grow, if you're not looking to improve, what the fuck is the point?
Right. Let's just we're going to end it here, but like keep in mind, like just what is growth and whatnot. It may not be financial, or it may not be here. I mean, the growth can be in many different areas, and I don't want you to get stuck on one area of growth that's not growing and expanding as fast as, say, your conscience or any other area is.
Well, that's the thing. Like I'm caught up in it all. Like that's what fucks me up. Is like I'm caught up in the emotional and the intelligence and the financial and the career and in the creativity. Like everything. I'm caught up in it all. So when all those expectations aren't being met, you can imagine.
You're balanced in all your areas of life, and you still haven't gotten the results.
Yeah.
Well, that's because
balance, but
yeah. That's that consistency you talk of. The results will come. You got that balance that you need. You got the mind that you need to achieve it. Now it's just the consistent actions set forth. The results will come.
Yeah, for sure.
For
sure.
And this is 19. This makes 20 weeks that we've been doing this, by the way.
Yeah, goddamn.
Jesus.
Doing some shit.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I like that's when people thrive, when you're not in a space where it's controlled. Like, this is a creative space that was created for this stuff. And I remember how nerve-wracking it was first episode to just be this transparent. But now it's just like, man.
I went back and watched that first episode. I was like, man, this nigga was not feeling it. I was cracking the fuck
I gotta
up.
watch that shit now just to see it more clearly.
immediately we started off like, nope, run it back.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this nigga.
I
was
remember
not
that.
with it.
Yeah, because it was just like, it was, shut the fuck up. I'm very open, like, you know, like you said, without the cameras, we have these discussions.
Yeah.
It's with the cameras that I found that, like, it's almost the same concept as getting comfortable with, like, old girl.
Yeah.
It's like, I felt very vulnerable. I felt like the perception that I would prefer people have of me would be tarnished, et cetera, et cetera. However, it's gotten to a point where I'm just like, man, listen. I'm me.
Oh, damn, that's making me think of something. But we can end it here. We can talk about it off the pod.
Shit, dude.
I don't want this shit to run any longer. I feel like we've been going for a long ass time.
We have. This might be our first 2 hour.
We done 2 hours before.
This might be our second, third, fourth 2 hour.
Our 19th 2 hour.
right. I look at all the episodes like, oh shit.
Just talking to motherfuckers. But I'll tell you that when we fucking get off this shit. But
Oh, because it was on some other shit.
Nah, not even that. But fuck it.
Okay, bet. It's just been long enough.
Yeah, it's been another rendition.
Y'all don't need to know no more.
Yeah.
We told you enough.
It's been another rendition of Jerry Bird's podcast, man.
Yeah, nigga.
Tune in next week.
I said you ain't gonna fly with me. Fine.
I wasn't ready.
He said,
I got so happy. I was like,
yeah, I heard you. I said, he said,
I still think about that takeoff, boy.
he said, we taking off.
We take it off first.
But a 9 to the 2000s.
I was thinking of DJ Khaled. We taking off.
I would find a way to.
We out.
And you would find a way not to flap. I was